Good evening, everyone. I was having a laugh with myself. Believe it or not, it does happen. So, how is everybody this evening? First of all, again, let me just say Happy Father's Day to everybody out there. I made a comment in my video earlier, and I acknowledged the mothers that are raising their children on their own without a father in the picture. So I said Happy Father's Day to them as well. And somebody in the comments was like, "Well," and I get their point. So I wanted to address this, and they were like, "Well, it's not the same thing, as having a father. It's not, okay? But unfortunately, sometimes men don't stand up. If that child has a positive role model, male role model in their life, that can make all the difference in the world. Myself, I'll tell you, my father gave me up for adoption when I was 5 years old because he didn't want to pay child support. My sister was 4. My grandfather was that positive role male figure in our life. Okay. And I'll tell you what, you absolutely, as a child, you need both parents, is what you need. And that's not always the case, unfortunately. But I just want to say, every man out there that stands up and does what they're supposed to do and take care of their responsibility, it doesn't mean staying with a woman that you don't want to be with, but taking your responsibility as a father. My hat's off to all of you, and those are the ones that I definitely want to wish Happy Father's Day to. So I wanted to say that to start with. Okay. Um, Before we get started, if we have any issues with the stream tonight, I just want to remind everybody I will get right back on as soon as I possibly can. So if you may not get notification if this kicks off, which I hope it doesn't. But just so you know that I will get right back on as soon as I possibly can. The other thing I want to say is very family friendly oriented channel, so I would ask people to please be decent in the chat. Excuse me. No racism, no nastiness. Just everybody be kind to one another, and if you can't abide by those really simple, easy things, those awesome people that you see lit up in blue will definitely boot you out here because we're just not going to tolerate it. It's not necessary. Okay. So, uh, all right. So I wanted to address something first. Somebody had asked a question, and I thought it was a great question. So I thought I would address it here. I like to do that sometimes if I see questions, because I will tell you, it's funny. People say, "Oh, he doesn't read the comments." And again, I will say, I read every single comment that is put on my channel, because if somebody's trying to be a jerk, that's how they try to do it as well. So I absolutely read every single comment. I don't always reply. Obviously, I got a lot going on. So, but somebody had asked me, they said, when you get down to West Virginia, what are the 5 things you're going to do first? And I thought that's a great question. Okay. So when I first get down to West Virginia, and before I go down for the winter, what I plan on doing is working on that road. And I've talked about that before in another stream. When I close, I plan on hanging out there for probably about a week and go over every inch of my property, walk it, look at it, film it, do the whole 9 yards. And I'll share that obviously with you guys. I want to work on that road a little bit before, we get into later in the year and we would go down, or I'll go down. And so that would be the first thing. Second thing, once I get there and once I get the camper there, I want to set up the power right away. Hey, Wolf Mule 99, thank you very much for the donation. I appreciate that. Thank you. Shannon Barrett says, today is my birthday. Well, happy birthday, Sharon. Happy birthday. So I definitely want, what's this say? Only angels with dirty wings on here. Yeah, I hear you. So the second thing I want to do is I want to get the power set up. What I'm probably going to do before I even leave to go down, I will order the different components that I need. I will pack them up in the camper, and I'm going to start out obviously much smaller solar system down there than I obviously have up here. I don't have the money to put in a huge solar system down there, but I want to get something going. Even if I buy one battery, and when I go down there, I'm going to go with a 48-volt system. Okay, so to kind of explain that a little bit, I have a 24-volt system now. And I was just looking at prices the other day for a 48-volt system, and a lithium ion battery for a 48-volt system goes for about $2,000. So just the battery alone is going to be about $2,000. So I will get that. I will get the charge controller inverter all in one thing like I have here. And then I'll probably get a couple of 400-watt panels to start with. And then obviously as I go, I will add more to it as we go. So setting up power is going to be number one once I'm down there. So then I want to try to work on developing a water source. I have a couple springs on the property down there, so I'm going to work on that secondly. So that's actually the third, because the road first, those two things. I want to definitely build an awning over the top of the camper to keep the weather from beating down on that camper and stuff like that. So I definitely want to take care of that as well. Putting up a dog run, because the dogs are going with me. So those are the first probably 5 things that I'm going to be working on, because I definitely want to get water. And it may not be in that order. I mean, I may get down there, set up some kind of a dog run to start with, because I definitely don't want them to run free. I want them in a contained area. So that would probably be actually one of, it's one of those things that I want to definitely square away. No, I think tomorrow's the solstice. The 21st is the solstice, if I'm not mistaken. At the 21st, I believe, is the summer solstice. So, but anyway, so that's what I want to do when I first get down there. And like I said, I'll show you guys everything. Starting all over again from scratch is going to be interesting. But yes, Jen, I will be going back down when I close. So again, right now, I'm waiting to hear from the bank. As soon as the bank gives me their yes, we're giving you the loan, or no, we're not, then I know where I stand and I know where I need to go from there. So hopefully it shouldn't be any issues as far as the loan goes. And yeah, I thought the solstice is the 21st. Thank you. That was Hazel Pittman just said. She said, you're right on the solstice side. Yeah, I thought it's always the 21st. So not that Randy Romine said anything wrong, just made a mistake. We all make them. Trust me, I make plenty. I make plenty. Yes, the water sources on the property. I have 2 springs on the property. Okay, and there's a creek that runs through the lower part of the property as well. So I definitely want to develop the springs, and so I got to figure out what I have to do for that as well, and have that water source going right away. Water is always going to be number one, as far as need. So here's my little. Okay, so I got to tell you what, this little girl. Hold on a second. Come here. Hey, put your head up here. Yes. This little snot. She's so naughty. Now, she's only 8 months old, so she's still obviously very much a puppy. But, where will your sister sleep when you take her camper van? Oh, I actually addressed that today in my video, but I will tell you guys again now. My sister still has her apartment until April of next year. So for the winter, she's going to stay in her apartment. And then when her lease is up, then she's going to either she's going to come here to start with, or she's going to come straight down to West Virginia. The game plan is we're going to keep that camper in West Virginia. That's Margie's home. So once we get it set up down there and get things going, that's going to be her home. So that's that's how we're going to go. So with that, when does summer end? I don't even, because we haven't even officially started summer yet. I think September. I'm not 100% sure when summer ends. I just know the solstice. I know that the winter solstice and the summer solstice. Those are ones I know. Because, but anyway, so that's kind of the game plan for down there once we get down there. And then, like I said, in the spring, Margie's either going to come directly to West Virginia, or she's going to come back here to the homestead here. And here's the thing, guys, I want you to realize I'm going to be back and forth. I will be spending a lot of time in West Virginia throughout the winter, but if I'm needed back here at home, then obviously I'm going to come back here and take care of, what needs to be done here as well. So I don't want you to think that I'm leaving Mom and Becky high and dry and be like, yeah, good luck. So no, they're, you know, and again, the dogs are going to come with me when I go down. So, but yeah, so that's what's happening with that. So I want to let's obviously probably since we're 10 minutes in already, we should probably get into the topic at hand. Uh, okay. JAS, and I'm going to address this too. Okay, will you buy a truck to tow? Okay, so this is my thought process, and I was discussing this the other day. When I get approval for this loan, what I'm going to do is once I close on the property down there, it would be cheaper for me to buy a truck down in West Virginia as opposed to buying it up here in New York. Okay, it's going to be cheaper to get it there. So what I'm probably going to do while I'm down there, I'm going to look at trading in the car and buying a truck, and then it'll be licensed and everything in West Virginia. So that's going to be my game plan. So when I come back up, then I can look at being able to tow the trailer down there without any issues whatsoever. And I'm going to need a truck down there. I had to start with just build a solar smaller generator for your new homestead. I made one for my place, and it really helped. Yeah, you know, like I said, I'll definitely have a generator that I'll take down with me as well, and you know, and those type of things. But I'm definitely going to need a truck, especially if I'm going to be living where I'm going to be living in West Virginia. So I'm definitely going to. I want to make sure everything is all set first, and then I'm going to trade in the car and get a truck. That's going to be the game plan. So, but anyway, so let's get into topic. Okay, so I know we're talking about. I'm going to tell you what, I'm excited. I can't wait. I should hopefully hear this week from the bank. I'm really hopeful that I do hear from them this week. We had more rain here too. I love this and I got to address this. Okay, before we're going to get into topic. I promise you we are. Real quick, we're 600 in the chat, 202 on the thumbs up, guys. If you haven't shot a thumbs up yet, please shoot a thumbs up to show support for the channel, and thank you ahead of time for doing that. Also, it really does help with the algorithm, so the more interaction, the better for the channel as well. So I thank you for doing it for that reason as well. And of course, the third reason is I like to see a lot of thumbs up, just a little game that I like to play. Again, if you're not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to please subscribe. Make sure you hit all the bell icon to get all notifications as well. All right, so another comment, I wanted to just address this too, because I just thought it was like so ridiculous. So I talked about in the video that we had all this rain yesterday, literally 4 hours straight here at the homestead, and I wasn't even home, but it came down heavy duty. We had more rain today later this afternoon. We had ended up with more rain as well. So somebody in the comments says, well, you're acting like it's really good with all this rain, but there are places that are suffering and there's drought. No kidding. I never said there wasn't drought. So I just thought, I'm like, what do people take? I'm talking about what's happening right here. Okay, I'm talking about here. And we needed that rain here. We really did. And so I know out west, they're in heavy drought, which is not good. And so, you know, it's people are tripped. I'll tell you what, it's like you guys have no idea daily what goes on. And it's like, oh my God. So it's very interesting. Okay, let's get into topic. What lessons can we learn from the storms that are happening down south? Now, I don't want to make any light of this. There's a lot of people suffering down there, a lot of flooding happening down there. And I really wish, you know, and this is a thought that I have with this as well. When you have this kind of flooding going, why don't we have some kind of thing set up? So like when these rivers are really high, we have pipelines all over this country, right? We're shipping oil all over the country all the time. Why isn't it in certain designated spots that when we know that these different areas flood, that we couldn't divert that water and ship it out west to grow? I mean, would it cost a lot of money? Absolutely, yes, it would. But think about long-term savings, less damage, being done because of flooding. If we could pump a tremendous amount of water and divert it and send it to, you know, what people, people always want to hammer on California all the time. And I get it. Trust me, I get it. But we grow so much of our produce and stuff in California that feeds the rest of the country. It is unbelievable how much we grow out there. I mean, I know I've talked about this before. California on its own, not part of being part of the United States, California on its own is the sixth largest economy in the world on its own, just California. So when you realistically look at that, and it would be really important for us to do that, some kind of way to divert that water to get it out there. I think that would be something that would absolutely be doable, and it would help places like Louisiana with flooding. When the Mississippi River does what it does, and you have these horrific rainstorms in different parts of the country, if you have areas that get a tremendous amount of rain, and we could divert that. I mean, like an example would be in Florida, and I'm not 100% correct on this, but let me, and if I'm wrong, please correct me, okay? Um, it rains every day in Florida. It might rain just for a little bit, but from what I've heard, it rains almost every single day in Florida. And if I'm wrong on that, please correct me. Anybody watching this from California, Florida, it rains every day down there. You know, when you have hurricane season coming, which we're in now, obviously, right? Um, Let me see if anybody's saying if it does or doesn't. I'm just looking to see if anybody says it does or doesn't. But again, there's got to be ways that we could divert that. No, it doesn't. Okay, I thought it did. I'm mistaken. So, yeah, you guys have your dry season too. Okay, well, like I said, I live in Florida, so I wasn't 100% sure. I've heard people talk about how much it rains, and it could be rain briefly, and then it'll be really hot after that and muggy. So, but okay, that's fine. Well, that clears that up. So it doesn't rain all the time. But I know, I didn't say all the time, but I know it rains a lot, and they get a lot of rain down there. So rainy season is June to November 30th. Okay, so again, there's got to be some way to divert a lot of that water to where it's actually needed. I don't think that would be you know they have had desalination plants on the West Coast for decades. They do not use them. Really? Now, see, that I did not know either. Yeah, there's got to be, like I said, there's got to be ways that they could do things. There really has to be. But anyway, so right now, down in the South, we got a lot of issues, a lot of rain, a lot of flooding, a lot of people, obviously, a lot of power outages as well. Wow, what a surprise, right? And, you know, what lessons can we learn from them? And I think it's important. And unfortunately, a lot of people never learn the lessons. That's the sad part. A lot of people will never learn the lessons from these type of events because their mindset is, well, this is a temporary thing, and the government's going to restore it, or the town or the city or whatever, whoever is doing what they need to do, they're going to restore that power. Everything's going to go back to normal, and we're going to be fine. Okay, so that's the mindset for a lot of people. But to me, and I'm sure a lot of you watching here, and it should be the majority of people, but unfortunately it is not, they should be taking these lessons from these type of events, realize where they're weak in their preps, what they should be doing to be better prepared, depending on, like I said, what happens up in New York is not going to be the same thing that happens in Florida. What happens in Pennsylvania is not going to be the same thing that happens in Arizona. So whatever part of the country that you're in, you're going to be affected differently by different things. I mean, in Arizona, you're not going to get, dumped with 25, 26 inches of snow. It doesn't happen out there. Okay. So, those are things that people, you're not planning for, a blizzard and those type of events out there. Where up here, we know that every single year there is that possibility of that big storm coming in, and we're probably going to get at least one or two in a season where we're going to get 18 plus inches in one shot. It happens all the time. Okay. Um, we can have the hurricane water, yeah. But you know what? Realistically, I mean, there's got to be a way that we can do that. That we could divert that water and send it where it's needed. I mean, there's no reason. This country's so big and it's so diverse that there should be ways that we can figure things out. You know, instead of playing stupid little petty games all the time like the government loves to do. It's yeah. Sunset just said because politicians don't care. You know what? Sadly, you're right. They don't. You know, sadly, they don't. California has 11 such plants. Randy Moromine said the desalinization plants. Yeah, so why aren't those things cranking 24/7? I mean, you have the ocean right there. Um, and I want to address something about the ocean too, guys, really quickly. What we got going on, like that chemical barge sunk off Sri Lanka. We're transporting all kinds of crap on the ocean all the time, and when that ship caught on fire and it sank, and they said most of the chemicals burned up, but there was like all kinds of other stuff that actually got into the ocean. It is incredibly expensive, Ed, both in money and energy. Oh, I don't disagree with that, but again, that would be something that, let's look at it like this, guys. What happens every single year in California? Every single year, without a doubt, is going to happen every year. You have the fires that happen every year because you have the winds come in, everything dries out, then you get the fires every single year. It's like ridiculous. And then you look at last year, how bad it was last year. That happens every single year. And you know what? Okie Ford just made a great point. Water is life, and he's true. It's 100% true. You know, there's no reason with the amount of water that we have available in this country that we should not be able to help other states out and do that type of stuff and do that type of coordination. But again, yes, would it be expensive? Of course it would be, but it could help everybody. It could absolutely help everybody. Like if okay, there's this monstrous storm coming in, so the rivers are at whatever levels that they're at. You start pumping that water out days ahead of time, and you send it out days ahead of time. So when that storm comes in, it basically refills those rivers and lakes or whatever the case may be. I'm spitballing here. I'm just making suggestions, but I don't think that there's any reason we couldn't do something. Believe me, if we can send billions and billions of dollars overseas for nonsensical crap all the time, and we can spend trillions on war, okay, there's no reason that we couldn't take that money instead of putting it into war and putting into something positive for a country. And oh yeah, let's talk about the number of people that we would put to work working on this type of a project, right? Good jobs, good paying jobs. I know it's a weird concept. It's a weird concept, but you know what? It's unbelievable. Yeah, we can't even fix our bridges. You're right. It's just there. And how long now? Think about this, guys. How long now in Congress, in the Senate? Well, it's Congress first because it's got to go past the Congress first, and then it goes to the Senate. Are they playing games about infrastructure? The Democrats control both the Senate, the House, and the presidency. Well, all three. Okay, they control all three. They can push through whatever they want to push through. They play these little games. They delay, and then what'll happen when we get 2 years into this presidency? Most likely, the House will go back to the Republicans, and then we'll be right back in the same situation that we were before, where one party owns the House, another party owns the Senate, and you have more games being played, and everybody's not doing a thing, and they do nothing continuously, but talk about our party's going to do this and our party's going to do that, and they all do nothing. And the rich get richer, and we get squeezed for more and more tax dollars every time you turn around. It never ends. It never ends. So that is definitely something that is absolutely insane. All right, so really quickly, I want to talk. Well, I want to do two things real quick. I'm going to do them back to back, and then we'll get them out of the way, and then we're done. My website, preppernurse1.com. We have the Prepper Nurse One community there, which is a resource for you guys to connect with like-minded people. It is free to join, but it is private, so you do have to register, but no credit card information is asked. It's a good resource to connect with like-minded people. Definitely take advantage of that. We have, if you go preppernurse1.com, you will see the logo for Four Fathers, which is the CBD and hemp store. Okay, it is there for you to take advantage of. If you click on that, it'll take you to their website. If you decide to make a CBD or hemp purchase, when you check out, make sure you use the discount code PrepperNurse1. If you do that, you'll save yourself 15% on your purchase. Okay, a little bit helps. Every little bit helps. Okay. CBD products are a great thing to have in your preps as well because they help with so many different things. It can be used for your pets, for you, whatever, it definitely helps with a lot of different things. Okay. Also, on my website, preppernurse1.com, we have the Legacy freeze-dried food. So if you click on store, it'll drop down. It'll say Legacy. You click on that. What is available is there. 25-year shelf life. It is GMO-free. It is gluten options available. Largest portion size of any of the freeze-dried food companies. So if you're looking to add long-term food storage, it's a great thing to have. Like I said, again, 25-year shelf life, really good stuff to have. And I have it in my preps, as you guys know. So the other thing I want to talk about real quick is the prepper get-together that we are having here in July, 17th and 18th of July. All right. I mentioned this in my last stream. Greg has graciously offered his property for people that want to come up and camp. So you can come up on the Friday, camp out at his property. He's got 80 acres up there. He's got a big old field that's mowed that people can set up camp, and they can stay right there on his property for the event. So we're going to be Saturday. We're going to be at the Saguenay American Legion. So we have that all day on the Saturday. And then on the Sunday, we're going to be at Letchworth State Park. I have one of the pavilions reserved there, and that's right up by the pool. But to go to Letchworth State Park, it will cost you $10 to get into the park. So just putting that out there ahead of time. If you decide you don't want to camp at Greg's property, there's plenty of camping available all over the place. Letchworth has a lot of different places there that you can camp there as well. Okay. Yes, and EV3 Dale said, leave this property better than you found it. Yes. Be respectful, because this is it's a very generous offer on his part to be able to host people there. So if you plan on coming to the Prepper Get-Together, July 17th, July 18th, it's a Saturday and a Sunday, please let me know. preppernurse1.com or Yahoo, preppernurse1@yahoo.com. Sorry, guys. Let me know. If you plan on staying on Greg's property, please let me know ahead of time. I want to try to get a head count so I know what I have to purchase. We're going to do a cookout both days, Saturday and the Sunday. We're going to do a cookout on both of those days. I'm supplying the hot dogs, the hamburgers, the condiments, ketchup, mustard, relish, paper products, silverware, and that type of thing. Okay. I would ask people to also bring a dish to pass for the event. We're going to have a great time, guys. I'm really, really looking forward to it. Unfortunately, like I said, Hope Valley Camp did not work out because they could not get their permits in time. But we have this alternative, and it's going to work out. We're still going to have a great time. We're going to have a lot of fun. So those of you that do decide to come up and camp out at Greg's, on the Friday, after I do my live stream, we may do a little bit of a fire or something like that, like a little bonfire. So just letting you know ahead of time. It's going to be a very, very busy few days, but it's going to be a lot of fun. Okay, so I definitely wanted to touch base on that, and so there's that, all that information, so people have that if they want it. What are we at? 765 in the chat. We're at 345 on the thumbs up. Again, if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, please do so to show support for the channel, and I thank you ahead of time for doing that. Also, again, it really does help with the algorithm, so the more interactions that we have with comments, with thumbs up or thumbs down, and of course we prefer thumbs up, it really does help with the algorithms as well. Okay. Also, I'm trying to think here. Sorry. If you are not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to please subscribe. Make sure you hit the bell icon to get all notifications as well. All right, so let's get back again on focus, on topic. All the business is now taken care of. All the updates are now done. I'm going to tell you what, I can't wait for the get together. I can't wait to meet you guys. We had 2 years ago when we did it, and we're going to make it an annual thing. Obviously, last year, because of the COVID and all that, nobody was doing anything. So really, really excited about doing this. We're going to have a great time, and I'm really, really looking forward to it. So, but Julie Clear said, back again, YouTube kicked me off the net yet again. Really? That's crazy that happens to you. So, lessons learned from these type of events, okay? We can find out within our own grouping, if your group or you individual, your family, what your shortcomings are. I always look at this point right now with events that happen, be it power outages, be it a storm, be it flooding, whatever the case may be. I look at these as a great opportunity because this is not the end of the world as we know it, right? It could be a devastating event for your area, which is understandable, but it shows you where your shortcomings are when it comes to prepping. Do you have enough batteries? Do you have enough alternative ways to produce power? Do you have your shortcomings? Yeah, where you're weak in your preps. What do you need to do? What do you need to improve on? And like I had said to you guys before, if you took and cut your power off for a weekend and did a test run just for a couple days to see how you would do, you are going to find where you're weak in your preps. Alternative ways to do fuel for cooking. Do you have enough propane canisters? How many 20-gallon propane tanks do you have? Do you have an outdoor cooker that you can use? Those things you're going to find out really quickly. Do you have a way to heat up water to wash up, to clean dishes? Well, obviously you don't need to have hot water to clean dishes, but just to be able to wash up to feel halfway human. Okay, these are important things. You got to understand something psychologically, when a end of the world type event happens, if you can keep things as normal as possible, what is the definition of normal? Being able to take a hot shower, have a hot meal, you know what I mean? Sleep in a warm bed, depending on what time of year it is. Can you stay warm or can you stay cool? Those things are important. They really, really are. Okay. So if you keep some semblance of normalcy, it is less stressful. We talked about stress just the other day, right? We talked about how stress is a silent killer. In a post-event, you think of your worst day right now that you've had in your lifetime stress-wise. Now think about that day after day after day, every single day. Okay? That's what it's going to be like in a post-event. It is absolutely going to be like that in a post-event. Now, at some point, your antidepressant medication is going to run out. Your whatever meds you have, they're going to run out. How prepared are you for that? Is that a stressor? Have you thought about alternatives for those things? These things are all going to compound in a post-event. So being in a position where you have, I'm going to tell you what, and so here's a real good example, and these are cheap. They're not expensive at all. You ever see those lights that you can get, the solar lights that you put outside and you put it for a walkway? They're little bitty lights like this and around that pole. You can have them for a walkway, right? In a post-event, guess what? You put them all outside, and at night you bring them in, and now you have a light. It'd probably keep things lit up for quite a bit through the night for you in whatever environment you're in. Those are simple little things. What is the other? Well, I wanted to show. Yeah, okay. These things here. Now, I'm going to tell you what. I'm going to turn this on. This has not been out in the sun all summer long. Not at all. Haven't had it out in the sun all summer long. So I don't even know if it's going to go on or not. Look at that. Okay. These solar lights by Delight. I have no affiliation with Delight whatsoever. None, zero, nothing. I don't get any kind of kickback, nothing. But I will tell you what, if I see a product that is going to work, it's going to be helpful in a post-event especially. Doesn't matter if it's cloudy, you're still going to get some sun through the clouds. These things here, guys, these Delights, they are awesome. I highly, highly, highly recommend that you get them. Okay. And again, it's just a D dot light. That's it. D light. Look it up. Get them. Wonderful, wonderful product to have. Highly recommend it. Okay. Absolutely love them. I got a bunch of them. I had different people send me them, and they're fantastic. Again, highly recommend something like that because, again, eventually batteries are going to wear out. Even rechargeable batteries over an extended period of years, eventually they're going to lose their kick. So having alternatives, solar lights are a great thing to have. They really, really are, and it's going to make a difference. So those are little bitty, easy, simple things that can make a huge difference in your life. Being able to drink water that is not tainted. You have flooding. You got all kinds of crap in the water. You can't drink the water. So you're surrounded by water that you can't drink because it's going to be toxic, and you don't know what's in it. And you can get salmonella, and then you have diarrhea, and then that could be the end of the ball game because there's not going to be hospitals that you can go to for treatment for those type of things. So you need to have a way to purify water. I'm going to tell you guys, if you do nothing else, you watch my channel and you've been watching forever and you don't prep at all, if you don't do anything else, get a way to purify water. They're all out there. They're inexpensive. And again, it comes down to what you're willing to spend. The Berkey water filters are a little bit more pricey. Granted, I get it. I understand that. But there's also alternative ways to be able to purify water. And without fresh water, we're dead in 3 days. And I will tell you right now, and this is no exaggeration, and I tell people this all the time, in a post-event, worst case scenario, end of the world as we know it, more people are going to die from dysentery than any other way. I'm telling you right now, that is going to be the number one killer in a post-event. All right. One of many ways people are going to die in a post-event, but people are going to get dysentery, they're going to get that diarrhea, and they're going to be done. Okay. So definitely, have lots of beer. Exactly. I got to keep mom going. Got to keep her motivated. So, but again, you know what? These are things, people, you really need to think. You need to prepare properly. Give yourself that advantage. Again, lazy. If you're lazy, and there's no judgment on people that are lazy, and you really don't want to prep, but you want to do something. Freeze-dried foods, absolutely the way to go. If you don't want to do a lot and get something available, get something that you can basically put in a cool, dry place and not think about, go with the freeze-dried foods. It's the best way to go. Lightweight, more bang for your buck. Again, it doesn't have to be what I sell. It doesn't have to be the Legacy. If you like Mountain House, if you like Augustin Farms, those are two good companies, okay? Those would be Legacy, Mountain House, and Augustin Farms would be my top three that I would recommend. Okay, that's what I would say to you guys. And I have all three of them in my press. So, that's, Randy Romines just said a really good point here, too. She goes, for many, losing weight in a post-event will reduce a lot of medical issues for a lot of people. And she's 100% correct. But when you have people that are not used to physical activity, okay, and then in a post-event, now you're going to have to be physical because there's no more sitting in an air-conditioned house. There's no more sitting back watching your TV, eating all your processed food and all that other crap that's out there. There's not going to be any more of that. What you're going to have is you're going to have to get out there. You're going to need to be active. A lot of people in the beginning are going to drop dead from heart attacks. They're going to have injuries and that type of stuff. Ed, can you make a homemade Berkey out of a 5-gallon bucket? Patty G, yes, you can. You can absolutely do that, but you're going to need the filters, okay? The two filters of the Berkey filters, it's going to cost you, I think it's like $109 right now for two filters. And there, it's you can use a plastic 5-gallon bucket to make a Berkey filter with that. You can do it that way, or you can use galvanized steel pan or whatever. Those are a lot of different options out there. But yes, people can make them that way too. I just went and bought mine. I just wanted it here. I wanted it done, and that's what I did. And I've had mine. I've had mine for a long time. And recently, I added. What did I pick up? Because it comes in a pair. It comes with the two filters when you buy the package, you get two filters. I think I just ended up recently buying 4 more packs of filters. I had like 2 available here, but to me, I'm like, I want to have the backups. I want to have them available. Again, you have to think ahead. You really, really do. And again, so just giving yourself the advantage, prepping as much as you possibly can. I'm sure that some of you guys that are in the South, especially like in the Mississippi area, and dealing what you're dealing with because of all the rain and the flooding and stuff like that, those of you that are ready, that are prepared, you find it much easier. Okay. Now, right now, and I want you to think about this, and I've had people say this to me before. All right. Well, whenever a disaster happens, we all work together, which is great, and it's true. Okay. Lucid Farms, there's a Berkey filter attachment called a PF2 filter. You need to buy separately. A lot of the times that will further reduce the fluoride and the arsenic. Very good point, and thank you for sharing that information, and thank you also for the donation. See, now I don't have to worry about the fluoride because I have a well. So there's no extra fluoride put into my water, which is great. So that's a good thing. But, now I lost my train of thought. I hate that when that happens. Oh my goodness. But oh no, I know what I was going to say. So people working together, right? People will come together now and they help each other out because again, they realize that whatever the event that has happened is a short-term event. It's a short-term event. So they go, okay, well, it's no big deal. We'll be fine, which is great. Okay. But in a post-event, worst case scenario, end of the world, I've talked about this before. I'll talk about it again. You have 3 days. You have 3 days, 72 hours to get to where you want to go. And you better be there by the time 3 days is done. Because when people realize, holy crap, this is the end of the world as we know it, the power's not coming back on, or whatever the case may be, okay? Reality sets in really, really quickly. And people realize really, really quickly what their shortcomings are at that point. And then they're going to be scrambling. They're going to be out there looking for supplies. They're going to either be looking for supplies to take from other people, or where they can buy them, or where they can trade them, or just straight up take them from whoever has them. That's going to be the case in a post event. So, you definitely want to have that squared away and available as much as you possibly can. When SHTF happens, and I'll give you my game plan, really, really simple, real simple game plan. I plan on staying here, hunkering down, riding it out as long as we possibly can. If we have to deal with threats, we will deal with them accordingly. That's part of life at that point, okay? But to keep a lower profile as we possibly can, we definitely, Ed count time, Randy Romance, I got you. It is just about it. Well, actually, I'm looking. I have another minute and 6 seconds. But again, my game plan is to stay put, to lay low. My people are coming to me. They will get here, and we'll go from there. And that's the game plan, okay? So that's where we're at. All right, so why don't we go ahead. We'll get egg count out of the way. So I said in today's earlier video that yesterday we ended up with 9 eggs yesterday. So what is everybody's? Asa already got it up there. 9 eggs. Oh, that's today. Yes, it was 9 eggs yesterday. So what is your guys' guess for today? So we'll give you guys a minute to get your guesses up there. So just give you a few moments. And somebody put their guests up very, very early, probably 20 minutes into the stream, and they put their guests up, and I laughed because they were right. And so I said, well, I will make sure I remember that name and say it at this point in time. So that person that put their guests up very, very early was Dale EV3. EV3 Dale, I believe, is 7 eggs. We had 7 eggs today. So I laughed when I saw that, and he had that guess that early. And he was right. I said, I'm going to have to remember that. That was funny. So I pay attention sometimes. But one of the things I want to encourage you guys to do, okay, have plans, have backup plans, and have backup plans to your backup plans. Because once again, we never ever know what is going to happen. We just don't. There's no guaranteed. There's no guaranteed, that I put everything and I've done everything here and, and we got started. There's no guarantee that this is going to be it forever. We may have to bug out of this location, if we got overrun or like we had a seriously superior force coming looking to take our stuff. So those are things that people need to think about as well. Have backup plans. I love my homestead. I'm not a big fan of the winter in New York, as you guys know, and that's why I'm going to be doing a second homestead. But it gives me more options. It's going to put me in a better place with being down there, and eventually if we decide to get rid of this homestead here, which I don't even know if we will, to be honest with you, I may keep both. I would love being able to have 2 homesteads, but with being down there and getting things set up down there, it's much more isolated. There's a lot less people, and so there's so many advantages to being down there. If I could just pick up everything that I did here and just take it and set it down there, that would be great. But that's not, that's not going to be the case. So I'm going to run over a scenario with you guys really quickly, okay? And I want you to really, really think about this. End of the world has happened, right? You are at your bug out retreat and you're all set up. You got an alternative power source. So you have your own solar system. You have your batteries. And again, that's going to be for so long as well. Eventually, parts are going to break down. Your batteries may not last, beyond a certain point. You don't know. You don't know how long they're going to last, okay? Especially lead acid. Lead acid, you're looking at 10 years. So you definitely need to think about that. So, but anyway, end of the world has happened. You're at your bug out location. You have plenty of food. You have plenty of water. You have plenty of people there to help continue to grow gardens. And so you're gathering food and you've got your gardens going. And if you need to do any hunting, you can do that as well. And you're doing all these things and you're surviving, okay? And you're thriving while you survive. Now, there's going to be people that eventually will come and try to take what you have. But I want you to think of the mindset and the shape these people are going to be in. Now, you are rested. You're getting your proper rest every day. You got a full belly, so you're clear. You're clear in your thinking. Everything is going good in that aspect. You're not overexerting yourself, okay? You're keeping sickness at bay because maybe you have a nurse or something like that in your group. And so you are fairly healthy as a group, okay? You're going to have people are going to come that are not properly rested. So they're overtired, they're highly stressed. They're dealing with inclement weather, so maybe there's sickness big time in their group. So they have that issue. They're not eating properly, so they're not thinking clearly. When you are overtired, give it a couple days. Anybody that's been in the military will tell you they beat you down with using sleep deprivation, physical exhaustion, and all those type of things, and then they build you back up, okay? They feed you really, really well, so you're eating steady. But if you're not eating steady, you're not getting proper rest, you're dealing with inclement weather, you're hot, you're cold, who knows, depending on where you are. You don't have proper water, you're not having fresh water, you're not having filtered water, so you're having all kinds of issues. Who's going to win in that battle? Who's going to win in that battle? And I'm going to tell you what, you could be outnumbered 4 or 5 to 1. okay, they are compromised. So again, the more you put yourself in a situation, okay, the more you put yourself in a situation where you're ready, it's going to give you that advantage as well, okay? It really is. And again, keeping a low profile, not drawing a lot of attention to yourself is definitely the way to go. It really is. Exhaustion, as in you ain't been laid in 3 weeks because the lady next to you. Oh, come on now, that's not nice. That's not nice. I don't even know why I thought it was something to a different point. I'm not even finished that comment, but that wasn't nice. But it's just being overtired. I know for me, if I'm not getting enough sleep, I'm much more short tempered. I can't focus. I can't think clearly. It really makes a big difference. It really does. Uh, yeah, sleep deprivation is no joke. Yep, and you can't think clearly. Anybody that's dealt with it at any point in time is not a pleasant thing. And in a post event, I want you to think about this too. You're not going to get, unless you're in a secure group in a secure location where you can go ahead and lay down and you don't have to worry about what's going to happen when I go to sleep. These people are not going to be getting 4 or 5 hours of sleep at a time because there's always going to be danger going on and they're not going to be rested. They're just not. So again, that gives you an advantage. What will we do without our Facebook and Twitter? You'll learn to survive. You'll learn to do other things. Hopefully read and learn. Hopefully that's what you do. Hopefully you have plenty of books with knowledge on how to do things, and now you don't have time to watch what's going on with the Kardashians, and you can't keep up with them anymore, so you have to find different alternatives to do things. So I know the Kardashians are very important to a lot of people. I don't get it personally. I don't. So, what would you recommend as a medical prep besides the usual items like Band-Aids? Good question, Lori. And what I would definitely recommend for people to have is plenty of books on medical procedures, how to treat things, how to diagnose things. Get the first aid books. There's a lot of information out there. So get those. Absolutely get those. EV3 Dale just said quick clot. Another good thing to have. Absolutely. Suture kits. Have ways to sew up wounds. People are still going to have injuries. They're going to cut themselves. They're going to do those type of things. I'm going to email you my phone number. I'd like to talk to you about your West Virginia land and solar. Rob Price. Okay, Rob, that's fine. That's fine. Not a problem. So, but plenty of bandages. Make sure you have some form of antibiotics. If you can do antibiotics, do them. Okay. And again, people say, well, I can only get so much of antibiotics. I get it. We've talked about alternatives for antibiotics before, which is fish mocks. And that's all I'm going to say about that. I'm not telling you to go buy fish mocks, but I will tell you again, I have them in my preps. I have already used them to treat an infection, and lo and behold, they work. Okay. That's from my experience personally. So just putting that out there. You can do whatever you want to do. I'm not telling you to use fish mocks. I'm telling you that is an alternative that you can use. Also, I would definitely recommend just, ace bandages, slings, crutches, all those type of things that's going to help you. There's the list guys, I could do a list for medical preps that you would want to have, and it's going to cost you a lot of money. But just do the best you can. Try to think outside the box. If this happened, what would I do? How would I treat it? Okay, you're going to treat a sprain or a break differently, obviously. Trying to figure out how to set a bone. Again, that's where a lot of duct tape is a great thing to have. Absolutely, duct tape is a great thing to have. I'll show you something really quickly. Look up on top of that, the safe there, guys. I think it's about 6 rolls of duct tape just sitting there. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rolls. 7 rolls of duct tape alone. That's a Gorilla Tape. Love that stuff. Absolutely something good. Good thing to have. I would definitely recommend to have anti-diarrheals. You're going to need to have Imodium as well, especially that's definitely helps as well. So, um, I mean, again, on and on and on and on and on. It's never going to stop. Have different ways to know how to do things. So here was a good thing. Like I talked a little bit today. Figure out alternative ways for bug repellent in a post event. We have had caterpillars like crazy this year up here, and they were going nuts on our stuff. It's the first year that we've had them this bad since I've been up here. Okay, 3 years ago was the first year that we really had an issue with ticks, and so again with the animals, that's why I started using the collars on them, because the collars keep the that away. Now in a post event, you're not going to go out and pick up Xarelto collars or any other kind of collar, so you're going to need to have alternative ways to help your animals as well. So those are things to think about. There's a lot goes into it, a lot of it that goes in, and I don't know, I just do things. I'm like, okay, I need this, boom boom boom, and I go and I grab it. That's I try to, you know it's having books. Number one is probably the number one thing that you should have if you don't have anything else. If you can't put any money into anything else, get the books, because it's going to walk you through what you need to do. Okay, so you can make bandages out of old t-shirts or jeans or whatever you need to make bandages out of, but if you can have the different supplies ahead of time, it really does help, because I'm telling you right now, people are still going to get sick. They're still going to get hurt. They're going to make stupid mistakes. A mechanical injury like a sprained knee or a twisted ankle can really make a difference if you're going to make it or not. So those are things that you need to really, really think about. Yeah, Asa's here. He was talking earlier. Yep, he's here, Lady Kickboxer. So veterinary stapler. That's a good point. That's a real good one, Tommy. Tommy M just said a veterinary stapler. But again, having sutures so that you can sew up, wounds and those type of things. Um, Somebody else again is saying quick clot. I love quick clot. I have plenty of it on hand. Things for burns. Think about that. People are going to burn themselves. We're going to be using. We're going to do a lot more cook fires and all those type of things. So having ways to treat burns is going to be really, really important as well. I wasn't even thinking about that, but I have it in my preps. If you saw what I had in my preps, you guys would be like, this guy's a lunatic. But like I said, I know what I have a really good idea what we need to do. Yeah, alloy plants for burns. Yep, exactly. Yep. But do you have them going right now? Okay, so that's something to think about as well. Is that something that, well, yeah, I'm going to get that eventually, or do you already have them? So those are things that you definitely should be planning ahead for. Yeah. So think about, here's another. Okay, athlete's foot in a post event. You've got to take care of your feet. You have to take care of your feet, making sure you have clean socks, dry feet. You're going to be doing a lot more traveling. So if you're having to walk long distances, you better have alternatives to be able to keep those feet dry. Going to make a big, big difference. Let's see. Westcote beaches tick warnings. Really, on the beach? I know they have sand fleas. I've heard of them. I never heard of ticks on the beach before, though. Honey is great for wounds. Yeah, North Shore Preparedness just said honey is a fantastic thing to have as well. You should have that in your preps. Let's see. Just kind of give you an idea. There's just 5 pounds right there. I have a lot of honey on hand. I love honey. I use it when it's winter and I'm doing my tea. I like to have honey in my tea, but it's a really, really good thing to have. Gigi just said, yep, ticks on the beaches on the West Coast. Wow, I did not realize that. That's crazy. No, thank you. So, alloy, cornstarch, coconut oil, etc. for the skin. Another thing for your skin, and I definitely recommend that you have plenty of this on hand as well. Hold on a second, and I will show you. Vaseline. Vaseline is a great thing to have. If you have chafing skin, Vaseline is a good thing to have. So I definitely recommend for people to get that as well. Okay, I probably have 6 of those sitting around. Just because for your lips, for your hands are dried. You're going to be working outside a lot more. All those things help. Those little things, and it's so weird if you think about it. These aren't things that people think about normally when you're prepping. Do people think about Vaseline? All right. People don't think about Vaseline, but it's going to be those little things that makes the difference in your comfort level. Here's another thing that I think people should definitely have in your preps. Something simple. You don't think about it. Nail clippers. All right. Little pair of scissors. Tweezers. All those type of things. Sewing needles. If you have, how many people? I'm probably everybody watching has had a sliver. All right. You want to get that sliver out. If you don't have a needle and then tweezers to get that sliver out, it's going to be very, very difficult to get that out. Obviously, you could use a knife, but it's going to be a lot more intrusive and invasive using a knife. But again, having that cuticle kit can make all the difference in the world as well. I keep my nails really, really short. If you can see that. Well, actually, I got to cut them now. Oh my God, they're dirty. They're really short, though. I keep them short. As soon as they start getting any kind of length, I cut everything off. So those are things you're going to need to think about. Can you make your own cast for a broken leg? Well, you could, but you got to have plaster and all that type of stuff. What your best bet's going to be is to set a leg, have bracing on both sides, and then wrap that. That's something that you would definitely, yeah, needles and threads, sewing and patches. Absolutely. M. Anthony just said, very, very good point. Believe me, guys, we can go on and on and on. Can opener is another great thing. Absolutely. There's so many things that people don't think about, the little things. And so what I try to do, and I'll tell you the way I look at things. I look at stuff like nail clippers and tweezers and stuff like that. Those to me are like comfort items, believe it or not. And it really helps, and it keeps me, keeps things clean, being able to cut my toenails, cut my fingernails and stuff like that. I like that. So, I've seen some people with some freaking nails and I go, man, don't, because it's just like, especially men. Women with long nails, I get it. They're pretty. They look nice. Great. That's awesome. But when a guy has like longer fingernails and there's like dirt and crap under his fingernails, I don't get it. Don't get it. So that's just me. It's like one of my little pet peeves. So literally as soon as they get to a point, I'm cutting my nails. And I'm actually looking at my nails now going, they're at that point. So I'm going to cut them again. But being able to take care of these simple little mundane things that other people don't think about. Having a backup pair of glasses or two, okay? Last time when I bought these glasses right here, okay? So I bought these glasses. I bought another pair, the exact same, at the same time. They're sitting in my dresser. I have not even used them, okay? My eyesight has not changed at all in probably 20 plus years. So, I bought the extra glasses because, again, it's that redundancy. It's having one is none and two is one. So having that backup pair is really, really important, especially if you wear glasses, okay? Simple little things like that. Ice packs, being able to have, and then heat packs as well. Having those type of things are a really good thing to have. They have the old school, if you remember where you screwed off the top and you put the ice cubes and stuff in the like the bag thing, screw that back on and there you go. There's your ice pack. Really, really easy stuff. And I don't know if you can even get them anymore, but Feminine hygiene products for women. You need to have a good stock of those available because, again, those issues are not going to go away. They're still going to be there. So we need to make sure we're taking care of these things. Something to think about. I mean, just stupid little things. Dental floss, toothpaste, extra brushes, toothbrushes. Taking care of your hygiene is going to be a really, really big time important. Making sure you have enough soap on hand and stuff like that. Another thing, it's somebody, yeah, condoms, multiple purposes with condoms, absolutely. You can use it for a lot of different things, not just what it's intended for. Because the last thing you're going to want to deal with, unless you have a nurse or a doctor in your group, you're not going to want to deal with that unwanted pregnancy and then trying to deal with that, especially if there's any kind of complications. So, Brian Berry just said fishing line, lures, hooks, all those type of things, really, really important. I have a fishing. Okay, I'll give you a confession. I don't fish at all. Okay, I have line, I have sinkers, I have bobbers, I have fish hooks, and all different kinds of lures as well. Okay, because when that time comes, you're going to need these things. So, do I have fishing poles? No. Okay, and I say okay a lot. I'm trying to keep my train of thought, so I apologize. I know somebody said, "Wow, I watched this and you said okay 70 times." Well, so what? Then don't watch if you don't like it. If I say okay, do a shot every time I say okay. We'll see how many people are watching by the end of the stream. Oh my God, silly. So anyway, we got 817 in the chat, guys. We just hit 500 thumbs up. I'm going to ask you guys to shoot another thumbs up, please, to show support for the channel. And thank you ahead of time for that. I do appreciate it. Also, it is with the algorithms, it makes all the difference in the world. It helps us with, it pushes us up higher in rankings. And so the thumbs up really makes a difference that way too. So I thank you for that reason. Again, if you are not subscribed, I would ask you also to subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. And thank you ahead of time for that. So let's do a couple quick shout outs really quickly, okay? Obviously, Icky Can up in Canada. I definitely would ask you to go and support him. Smaller channel, nice guy, working on his homestead up there and having issues this year like everybody else is having issues. There's always going to be something, okay? So definitely go show him some support, and the guys will throw the link up there for him up there. And then you have Sean James with My Self-Reliance. He has the 2 different channels. He's in Canada. Really good guy, very, very knowledgeable. And just it's interesting to watch his channel and what he's doing. So definitely go check him out as well. The Angry Prepper down in New York City. Magic Prepper out in North Dakota. You have Marfugal News out in Seattle with Adam. Real good guy. Definitely show him some support as well. Gray Man Prepping. Southern Prepper 1. Doug and Stacy. Prepper Princess. God, so many. But again, Alaskan Prepper, Alaskan Granny. So the cats are not in tonight. No cats are in the house tonight. So I'm sorry about that, John. So, but again, let's support each other. We should be doing great. Green Greg's is another one. Wasn't even thinking of him. And so there's a lot of great information out there, a lot of great channels. Definitely we should be supporting each other. And I think that's important if we try to do that. Okay. So let's do that. And, tell them Prepper Nurse 1 sent you over. That's fine. And the cats are all outside, I think. But there's none in here sleeping right now. I don't think there is anyway. Unless Lucy's over. Nope. Lucy's not even in here. So, no, everybody's out. So, it's very mild out. Actually, I got a fan going right here again. So, but anyway, we should all be supporting each other. So I definitely, more knowledge that you can obtain, listening to different people, listening to different ideas, it really does make a big difference. Okay. So anyway, let's do this. We Are Legion. because we are many. We are all over the country. We're all over the world. We are a huge network of people. We're a huge family. Canadian Prepper. Yes, I'm sorry. I didn't even mention him. I forgot about mentioning him. So, um, where's everybody from tonight? So let's do that. We have Arkansas, Stokey in the UK, or Stork in the UK. I don't know. Maybe I said that wrong. Upstate South Carolina, Raleigh, North Carolina, Altoona, Pennsylvania, BC, Ontario, Canada, California in the desert. We have Buffalo, Georgia, Alabama, Kansas, Wisconsin, Australia, very nice, Alabama, Louisiana. Hope you guys are doing okay down there. Georgia, Arkansas, Oakland, California, Buffalo, New York, Kansas, New Mexico, Missouri in the hills, West Virginia, Orlando in Florida, Beech Grove, Indiana, Australia, Cleveland, Ohio, Buffalo, New York, let's see, Maryland. We have North Carolina, Amarillo, Texas, San Diego, Mesa, Arizona, Virginia, Nowhere, Oklahoma, downstate North Carolina, Charlotte, North Carolina. We have Maine, Nevada, Ontario, California, or is that Ontario, Canada? Maybe it was Ontario, Canada. Stark County, Ohio, southern Minnesota, Ulster Park, New York, northern California. We have Alabama, Nebraska, Edgewater, Florida, London, Kansas, southeast Ohio, Base Camp, Bassett, Virginia, New Zealand, East Tennessee, Lakeland, Florida. We have the Adirondacks, Oregon, West Virginia, Maine, South Mississippi, Eastern Ohio, Northeast Oklahoma, Western North Carolina. We have New Jersey, San Diego in California, Angola, Indiana. We have Northern California. We have Spain in the house. Very nice. Welcome. East Tennessee, Texas, New Hampshire, Fillmore, New York, Texas. Again, guys, all over this country, all over the world, we are the ones that are ready. We are the ones that are awake. We're helping each other out. We have Vancouver, Canada, just came up, Michigan, Virginia, Maryland and the Appalachians, Connecticut, Hollywood, Florida, Syracuse, New York. So, but we're all over, guys. And we're the ones that are going to make the difference. We're going to be the ones that are going to either help or not help people. And I had said in a stream earlier, I said, we're going to literally have the power of life and death. And somebody came back and made a comment that, I was like some kind of egomaniac thinking that I was going to determine people's life and death. I'm not trying to be an egomaniac. I'm trying to be straight up. If you don't prep and you've done nothing, you are leaving your life in somebody else's hands to make a decision if you survive or not. That's the reality, okay? That's not being an egomaniac. Because I prep, I'm under zero obligation to help anybody. Now, do I want to help people? I absolutely do. But there's nothing written down that says I have to. So if I determine that I don't think you're a good person, guess what? I'm not helping you. So there you go. There's that power. And so if you don't want somebody else to have that power over you of life and death decisions, take care of your business. Prep. Get ready. Help yourselves. The biggest thing that I would say to you guys is don't be a victim. Don't be a victim. Be proactive. Okay? It takes time. It takes money. I get it. Nothing happens overnight. But if you work at it methodically, it will happen. And it's as simple as that. It really, really is. And it amazes me how many people, and I'll tell you, this is the one that pisses me off more than anything else. When people give me every excuse in the world why they can't do anything, that's the one that really gets me. Hey, Asif, prepping is true life insurance. You are absolutely 100% right, my friend. You are 100% right. It is truly life insurance. And that's what I don't get why people won't help themselves. Again, low income, you're not making a whole lot of money. Food banks, great way to prep. Absolutely great way to prep. They give away a ton of canned goods. They're giving away a ton of food that you can eat now. You can save other things and stuff like that. What did Hella chew up? Okay, so what Hella did, yesterday because I was gone. She was pissed that I was gone. So she went into the kitchen, and I had a bag of cat litter in there, and she tore that bag of cat litter open, and that cat litter was everywhere. Then she got into a thing of Wesson oil, and so she chewed the top of that. She didn't get it all off, but Wesson oil was like in a huge spot on the floor. So yeah, that's what she got into. So, but again, prepping wise, if you don't have a lot of money to prep, again, there's bottles and cans that can be picked up. You can go that route, okay? That is one way that you can collect extra money. Stop spending money on cigarettes. Stop spending money on drugs. Stop spending money on alcohol. All right? Stop spending money on fast food. Prioritize what you have. Because I'm going to tell you what, there's not one time in my life that I have not seen some family that was dirt poor, but boy, they had money for cigarettes, they had money for beer, they had money for drugs, and they had money for scratch-offs. Always had money for those things, but then cried poor mouth all the time, and then their kids were dressed like crap because they weren't taking care of their kids the right proper way. I'm sorry. That's just, you need to prioritize what's important and what's not important. And that's what it comes down to. That's my take. That's not me being all high and mighty and thinking I'm better than everybody else, because I'm not. Okay? So that's just my point. Just something to think about. So anyway, what are we at? 687. We're at 603. Let's see, just for fun, let's see if we can get that up to 650. So yeah, tattoos too, right? They all got tattoos. Exactly. It's right. So if you have not shot the thumbs up yet, let's do that to show support for the channel. Thank you ahead of time. Let's see if we can get that up to 650 before we jump off of here. Also, again, it really does help with the algorithms. So the more interaction that we have, the better off we're going to be. And thank you for that reason as well. As far as the rankings, it pushes us up higher with more interaction. Also, yeah, JJ's got the information, guys. And it's SONYA, not E, JJ. SONYA, the Sanye American Legion. So it's an A, not an E. Just putting that out there right. But that's all right. You didn't know. That's okay. But again, I like to see a lot of thumbs up. So I would thank you. And that's why they're poor. Well, it's a mindset. You're right. Lack of education, choices that are made in life, all that feeds into it. But I'm going to tell you right now, and again, I've said this so many times, who can hold you back in life? Only one person that can hold you back. And if you sit around and feel sorry for yourself and you blame everybody else for your woes in life and do nothing about it, that's on you. It's not on anybody else. And that's just my take on it. I did not have an easy life. I grew up hard, did a lot of really bad and stupid things when I was younger. I made a lot of poor decisions. When I finally pulled my head out of my behind, and I did it at 27, and I will be 100% honest with you, okay? Pulled my head out of my behind when I was 27. My life changed dramatically because of the choices that I made. And that's what made the difference. It really did, okay? So anyway, that's just, so I don't cast judgment. I'm not judging anybody, but I'm telling you, we are all responsible for our own actions. Anyway, guys, I want to thank my moderators for doing an absolutely fantastic job keeping the chat clean. You guys are the best. I appreciate you, ladies and gentlemen, to do that for me. So thank you for that. Also, I want to thank all of you for being here and supporting the channel. And we keep having great chats, great questions. So that's awesome as well. So thank you all for that reason as well. What are we at? 629. We need 21 more guys to get to 650. Can we do it? Remember, guys, we are all in this together. We are one race called the human race. And as soon as we can focus on that and not deal with the stupidity and the nonsense that they continue to perpetuate, that they put out in social media and on the news constantly, in telling you that you need to be a victim. Don't be a victim. Don't do it. Don't feed into that hysteria, okay? We all bleed red. We all need to work together. We all need to be supporting each other. That's what we really need to be doing, okay? Remember also to hug and kiss the ones you love. Tell them every single day. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen in life. So it's really important we tell the people that we care about every single day how we feel. Last but not least, STD, step, thing, and day. And once again, when I hit 100,000 subscribers, I will have STD tattooed on my body. I definitely will do that just because to commemorate that. It'll be like STD, and then I'll have a 1K or 100K. I'm sorry. I'll have something like that. I don't know how I'll do it yet, but we'll figure that out. But again, step, thing, and day. One step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. Whatever you are trying to do, whatever you are trying to accomplish, you can do it. The only one that can stop you from reaching your goals is you. Nobody else can stop you. Stay positive. Stay away from negativity. Stay away from people that tell you what you cannot accomplish because they want to keep you down. All right? Don't listen to that nonsense. Stay positive and you're going to be just fine. So what are we at? 648. We need two more, guys. Two more to hit 650 on a thumbs up. So, but just stay positive. And you know what? Things can happen. Set a goal, make it happen. That's how life works. And it works out awesome when you do that. Set realistic goals. Realistic goals, and bang, it comes together. It really, really does. And we're at 663, so we blasted past 650, so that's awesome. I will see you all tomorrow. I hope everybody had a great weekend. I hope you all were safe, and I will see you all later. Prepper Nurse 1, out for now.